President Moon Jae-in continued his diplomacy with Southeast Asia today, taking part in a virtual summit with the leaders of countries along the Mekong River. Seoul has pledged millions of dollars to provide vaccines for developing countries. President Moon also announced a closer partnership with the Mekong countries centered on people, prosperity, and peace. Kim Min-ji reports.
South Korea will provide $10 million in COVID-19 vaccine support for developing countries. President Moon Jae-in announced the plan Friday at the virtually held South Korea-Mekong summit. This will be done through COVAX, a global initiative aimed at providing countries with equal access to safe and effective vaccines.
한국은 메콩 국가들과 함께 방역 물품 협력과 보건 의료 역량 강화에 더욱 힘을 기울여 나갈 것입니다. 백신에 대한 보편적이고 공평한 접근권이 확보될 수 있도록 메콩 국가들과 협력할 것입니다.
South Korea and the Mekong River nations, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos and Thailand, also agreed to form a strategic partnership for people, prosperity and peace, as proposed by President Moon. Moon noted the already successful cooperation between the two sides, saying that the trade volume so far this year is similar to that of last year, despite the economic situation caused by COVID-19. South Korea is also planning to raise its contribution to the Mekong-South Korea Cooperation Fund from this year's $3 million to $4 million in 2021.
나는 오늘 1차 정상회의에서 세운 이정표를 따라 전략적 동반자 관계로 한 걸음 더 나아갈 것을 제안합니다. 신뢰와 연대, 포용과 상생의 힘으로 코로나를 극복하고 포스트 코로나 시대를 메콩과 한국이 함께 열기를 기대합니다.
The leaders also discussed ways to further cooperate in 7 prioritized fields that were agreed upon during their first summit in 2019: culture and tourism, human resources development, agriculture and rural development, infrastructure, ICT, as well as environmental and non-traditional security challenges. President Moon says that the strategic partnership will be a new horizon of cooperation, noting that 2021 marks a decade since cooperative ties began between South Korea and the Mekong nations. 김민지, 아리랑 뉴스.